What's going on, guys? Today we are taking a look at Transformers Generations Leader Class Jetfire. This guy just showed up in the mail today, being a Saturday, and I got a chance to play with it a little bit. Now I'm going to show you what it's all about. First up, the box is gigantic. It's not that tall, but it is incredibly wide. I mean, just incredibly wide. It is not a small box at all. Well, enough of that. Let's take a look at the figure. Right out of the box, Jetfire is a pretty big bot, and he's a very good-looking bot. He does have a little bit of top heaviness on the back due to all the junk off of his backpack, but otherwise he looks like a very nice figure. Size comparison-wise, he's not that big to some figures, but compared to a Deluxe and a Voyager class Generations figure, he is massive. He's just gigantic. But then once you take the Generations scale out of things and add, I don't know, let's try MP10 Prime and Leader AoE Grimlock, he's about that same scale. He doesn't scale well with MP10 Prime at all, and that is a bit unfortunate, but they're completely different lines, so I'm not really worried about it. The figure comes with 6 separate accessories, all chromed in this bright red paint. I'll talk about the paint here in a minute, but they all come off very easily. The arms are just pegged on, and they're obviously just red plastic underneath. The blaster easily comes out of the hand, and the missile shoots a very impressive distance for a Transformer toy missile. The leg components wiggle off, though you do have to be a little bit, well, you have to be a little careful because there is potential for the chrome to mar the white plastic of the legs. The backpack component just snaps right off. Simply fold the nose cone forward and snap off the backpack component, which is this one large piece of plastic with chrome bits attached to it via screws. So just pop that off. Though it looks like the entire backpack can rotate thanks to this component here. You really don't have to. You could just pop it off or pop it back on, but it can rotate, as you can see. So all of these components, all of these chromed components aren't too bad. But according to the box and on the directions themselves, they're severely missing paint apps, and important paint apps. The cannon part here, where my finger is running across on the forearm parts and on the leg blaster parts, are supposed to be painted black. They're not supposed to be all chrome. There's supposed to be black paint in there. And if there was black paint in there, that would make these so much better. I'm just going to have to paint them myself or sand them down and paint them myself, because just being these big hunks of chromed plastic, there's no detailing. You lose all detailing. Now, they can combine with the actual cannon, and they combine by just pegging them into the sides like this, and pegging them, the smaller ones, to the outside like that. So Jetfire can wield this giant cannon gun thing. Oh, and any of the guns can fit on the sides of the thruster pack here. I kind of wish the thruster pack did something except look cool. It would be nice if it kind of slid back and then popped open. That would be nice. Oh well, it still looks good. Jetfire's head sculpt is very nice. I like the look of him with the battle mask more than I do with him without it. The battle mask is just really, really nice looking, though you don't get a whole lot in the way of light piping in this mode. So you can get some light piping going through to the battle mask. The mask itself actually comes off very easily. Just simply grab the front of the mask or take your finger and get it in between these sections here and just kind of pull out and off and forward. So it's definitely more of a battle mask than a helmet. See? Whoop. So, yep, definitely a battle mask. His head sculpt is really good. I like it a lot. I think it's definitely close to the original G1 look. though a little bit off from the G1 look. Definitely its own thing. And again, it does have light piping right there in the back of the head, as you can see. So it is a nice looking head sculpt. A quick word on the rifle. There are some grooves here on the side of the rifle where you can store the battle mask. I actually like that. It makes the rifle look like it's looking at you to shoot you. It's nice to see that the designers thought of a place to store the battle mask. Without all of his accessories, Jetfire looks really good. I think he looks good with the accessories, but I think he looks even better without them. He definitely looks more like a gentleman scientist Autobot in this mode. I love his chest. The chest here is really something neat. There's a lot of inlays and detailing here in the chest that I just really enjoy. Overall, the figure looks fantastic with or without the accessories. Just a nice, solid figure. And he is solid. He does feel really good. Joints are tight. Everything on this figure is really well done. Poseability, head is on a limited or a swivel for up and down movement, and then another swivel. The head is on a hinge. The neck is on a swivel. The arms are very soft ratchets with swivels underneath the shoulders, and then very tight ratchets in the elbows. Odd choice of chiseling out the plastic here for the forearm, just strange. No torso articulation due to the transformation. Ratchets in the hips, swivel just above the knee and the thigh, ratchet at the knee, and then the feet do have some articulation, no in and out movement, unfortunately. It would be nice if you could pose him a little bit better. If you get this figure, I strongly suggest getting some kind of stand. He does have this hole right here for part of the transformation, but it can be used by like a Figma stand or a nice sturdy stand that you would pick up in Japan. As I said, overall, robot mode is solid. Jetfire's transformation is very interesting. It's not hard, but there are a lot of parts involved and a lot of things move around. So to start with, we'll take the feet and actually fold the feet up behind the back of the legs. This if you do it a little wrong, if you get things out of order on the feet, you kind of have to snap them back into place. Make sure that the legs are pointing straight down like that. Then for the arms, straighten them out and turn them such that the forearms, or the outer forearms, are pointing forward. Very important later on. Then take the arms and put them straight out to the sides. Try not to drop the figure. Unpeg the shoulders from the body and push them straight down like that. That will allow you then to take the entire upper torso of the figure and fold it all the way down to his feet, like that. Now we can take the wings and actually open them up a little bit. I like to do that just to get them up and out of the way. Then we can take the arm sections and make sure they are perfectly straight and fold them up between the thrusters here in the back of the jet motor at the top of the figure. And then take the arms and bring them down a little bit. Then the entire legs, these leg sections, will fold in on that swivel just below the ratcheting hinge in the hip until you feel them snap into place. And then the entire hip section will swivel upwards. And this is where you want to take the arms, the arms and make sure that as you move them, as you swing the legs up, you move the arms into the inside of the jet mode. And these will swivel up and right up against the arms like that. Then come up to the top of the plane, take the nose cone and move it up a little bit, take the back and unhinge it, or unpeg it and then hinge it back, and then the bottom of the plane will actually peg into these pegs that are on the legs. And for that, you kind of have to bend the legs just one click at the knee. So the knee here, one click, and then peg it in to the wing assembly. And then we have clearance for the wings. Now, this is the actual hardest part of the transformation. Take the head and turn the head 180 degrees, and then come to the back of the shoulders and flip out these pieces right here, collapse right underneath the Autobot symbol, and this will fold up and around and will slide up into place and then collapse into place. And this is actually the most annoying and difficult and annoying part, because you have to get it such that those pieces that form the upper hips actually slide up in, and you have to get the head up in there, and these tab sections need to line up, and everything just needs to kind of get into place. You got to fiddle with it, and then you can take these sections that we pulled out earlier, and they will actually peg the entire fuselage together. Then take the canopy and bring it down and snap it into place. Fold up the tail wings. And if you don't do it exactly right, things will pop in and out of place. And I've yet to get it quite right. And then fold down the landing gear. You could fold out the wings, and Jetfire has been transformed. Jetfire's plane mode looks exactly like his G1 counterpart, almost to a fault. It looks more like a G.I. Joe plane than anything else. It's a fantastic plane mode. Just simply fantastic. I have nothing to complain about here. Yeah, there's a little bit of junk in the back, but oh well. It's just such a nice plane mode. A lot of kibble underneath, unfortunately. Nothing you could really do about that, though. Now, about adding all of the components back. The helmet actually is supposed to go on Jetfire's head. We'll leave it off to the side for right now. The fast pack pegs into the back using the same types of clips that the original Classics figure used, which I find interesting. And here I could show you it's spinning around. So yes, it can turn around. The gun, or his main gun, is going to peg in up front here, like that. And then you could just start pegging in the other guns. The bigger guns can go onto the fast pack, or they could go underneath the wings. I prefer to put them on the fast pack, just simply because I think they look better there. And then the smaller guys can go under the wings, like this. So there we have him armored up and ready for it. Here we have Jetfire armored up and ready for a fight. I think the only thing that I don't like about this is the giant cannon hanging off his nose cone. I do not like that at all. I don't know where else to put this. You can peg it in over here. I would prefer there to be a peg hole right here on the back. There is not. It would just make more sense to me. Oh well. Overall, though, it's a very, very solid plane mode and a very nice looking plane mode to boot. I really like this plane mode. I'm probably going to display him without the cannons or the fast pack. I think the plane mode is solid without it. Jetfire is a darn good figure. I have no complaints. I really can't think of anything with the core figure that needs to be changed or updated or even altered. I honestly can't. I like this figure a lot. I think it's a great figure, and I think it's a whole lot of fun. And G1 fans, or Generation 1 fans, are going to love this thing. Scale-wise, I would love to see him be a little bit more in scale with Masterpiece figures, but then again, this is a Hasbro versus Takara scale we're talking about here, so I'm not really going to complain too much about that. That's just a personal thing that I would like to see done. It's probably not going to happen going forward. The transformation is fun. It's pretty easy once you figure out where everything goes and how everything moves and pegs into place. The only complaint I can actually levy has nothing to do with the figure itself. It actually has more to do with the accessories. I just wish they had more paint apps. That's my only complaint. Other than that, I think they're fine. The figure holds together well. It's pretty darn poseable. If anything, I think the posability does lack a little bit, but that's not that big a deal because I'm just going to pose him in specific poses. That's just the way I'm going to do it. So guys, overall, I would have to say Jetfire is an excellent figure. I like him a lot. And it's a perfect evolution of the original Classics figure we got many years ago, many moons ago. And that's still one of my favorite Classics figures. Unfortunately, I don't have it here at the house. It's pretty much in storage up in Pennsylvania, which is a good 2-hour drive from where I currently am. So I wasn't able to show you the two of them together, but I can assure you, this guy's bigger. Is he better? He's definitely different and definitely cooler in my opinion, but I don't know about better. They're both awesome figures. If you have a chance to pick this up, I strongly suggest getting a hold of him. He's a whole lot of fun and definitely worth adding to your collection, especially if you're collecting the Classics line or the Generations line. As usual, guys, I am Baltmatrix. I hope you can get a hold of this figure, and I'll catch you next time.
Optimus. Using my superior intellect, I have devised a new way for the Dinobots to aid us in battle.
Excellent, Jetfire. We need to come up with a way to defeat the Decepticons.
Allow me to demonstrate using this new Dinobot.
Please, by all means.
And that's all there is to it. What do you think? I'm going to take that as a no.